Hey everyone, welcome back. So I just finished charging and I charged to 81 today because I want to go see my client. It is 21 degrees out here. The best charging I got was up to 113. It was hovering around 67 to 72, and then honestly towards the end of the charging, where normally it ramps down, it actually started ramping back up and I was able to get up to 113. Obviously the cold impacts a lot. I did precondition the battery in the car before heading out here. So we are at 81, sitting at 81%. We've got 260 miles. The reason I decided to charge today was I got 5 clients running all over. It's super cold. I plan on keeping it in keep mode when I see my clients, just to keep everything warm. The wind here is unbelievably strong. It's been like that for the past few days. I certainly hope everybody had a good holiday. I took some time off. And last Friday we got version 14.2.2.1, and now there is a 14.2.2.2 out, and hopefully I'll be getting that maybe sometime this week. So the new version, the new updated version, actually I've been doing it past couple days, has been doing remarkably well. Some of the quirkiness is gone. I don't know, it always stops here. It thinks it's a stop sign, but I guess it probably should be in some ways. Some of the quirkiness is gone. Ooh, wow, I'm so glad it hit that pothole. That apparently is still there. It's been doing some great, other than right there, great obstacle avoidance. The profiles for the speed are, to me, still really off. It's hard to predict how fast each one's gonna go. So I've been kind of playing around with that a little bit. But yeah, so far it's been doing really well. Good improvements, good lane selection. The map data seems to be kind of like it was before, not doing some really weird, like, wait, where are you going kind of moments. I was watching Black Tesla yesterday, I believe, and he has the 14.2.2.2, and he put out a video. He's downstate, so he's kind of in my area region, so I kind of like watching him to see how things are going. His is doing well. He also, I think it was either him or maybe Dirty Tesla, might have been Dirty Tesla, that was saying with the profile driving that it would be better if we still had the max offset, because it's so hard to predict it. You can't rely on, you know, it's gonna be 10 miles over. So yeah, it's doing well so far. I have a very long, busy day. This will probably be a very long video if I clip everything together. We'll see if I do that, or I split it up. You guys can always fast forward, of course, if you want to. And I'm actually at 100 subscribers, so thank you guys. I just am doing this not so much to gain subscribers. I do love doing that, but mostly just to kind of show what Tesla Cybertruck FSD can and can't do the best I can for all my running around and day-to-day use, and how it could, you know, maybe benefit your life as well. And we're coming up on a new year, so I'm not sure if I'll do a video tomorrow. We'll see. So in case I don't, and before everybody leaves this video, I want to wish everybody a very healthy 2026. I hope everything, you know, kind of calms down in 2026 and we sort of get even footing again a little bit, and just be kind to everyone. Certainly all don't have to agree on every single solitary thing, but you know, sometimes just listening to somebody else's point of view certainly doesn't mean you have to change your mind, but it might might give you some insight as to, you know, their point of view or what they're thinking. And you know, if you don't agree, that's okay. Just live your life the best you want to live your life, and try to be happy. I currently am in standard mode. It's today, this morning when I was going to the supercharger, it's been very cautious, very careful. The last couple days I've been on this has been super sensitive to pedestrians. It will see somebody just standing on the road and it will stop and let them cross, especially at crossroads, even when I think it probably could have kept going. But it's always been very cautious around pedestrians and people, so that's not necessarily a bad thing. It makes for driving patterns and people's expectations a little off, especially if you're at a crosswalk and the normal thing is most people just keep on going, and then all of a sudden you stop, the car behind you, I don't know, that might create a little bit of an accident. But even as a driver, you always have to pay attention with the traffic and cars and be prepared for everything, whether you're driving or FSD is driving. I do have some highway back roads on this drive today, and we're going to be pretty much going all over. Like I said, I've got 5 clients and we'll be traveling pretty much all day, so we should encounter a lot of different kind of scenarios. Definitely not like the one I had before with all the snow. Should be fairly clear this drive. I don't think we're getting any snow today or rain. I think mostly it might be the wind, although right now at the moment it's very calm. It is 30 through here. We are doing exactly 30 to, look like what I see, 32, 33. Oh, there's 34. Okay, I prefer, like, at least if they do 34, 35 on this road, I'd be happy. Tomorrow is my last day at work. I'll be taking Thursday and Friday off, so I'm looking forward to that. And today is the 30th, and that's an even side, so the way we're setting ourselves up, we will be parking on the correct side of the street. So the other thing I should say about the charging, when I did pull into the charger, I was at a high state of charge. I was probably at 49%. So that also will limit the amount, speeds as well. But I think between that and the cold, but like I said, it ramped up towards the end, and on my last charge I noticed the same thing when it got towards the end, where normally it will go down, it actually started climbing up again. And that could be many factors. The battery was more ideal temperature, the cable was at a more ideal temperature, trying to combat that super cold that we have right now. But all things considered, it could be worse. It could be minus 21. It's the wind, really. The wind is what's killing everything. The wind is so strong, almost hurricane force wind. A lot of warnings out for our area and more north of us as well. Alright, she did really well. Let's see how she parks with all the snow here. She's been doing pretty good. Yeah, that was really good. Alright, let's see what we've got. Yeah, look at that. Pretty much right there, as close as you can get without hitting anything. Alright guys, thanks for following along, and stay tuned and we'll catch you on the next one. Alright, welcome back everybody. We are on section 2 of my drive today. This one will be about a 9-minute drive. We are at 24 degrees. Ooh, we've warmed up since this morning. All right, we're coming up to a school zone. School is out, but it should still read, and it did. It picked up to 15. Let's see if it actually drops the speed. A little, not really. So that's something that still needs to be worked on. We are at 79% on the battery. Oops, that does give us 254 estimated miles. And we are in standard mode. We do have driveway enabled for this particular drive. Warm this up a little bit. I've been keeping it in the keep mode. So my battery, of course, will drop with the temperatures being as cold as they are and having it constantly run. But I'm doing that because I want to keep the battery warm, the interior warm, and I don't want to have it cool down and then get back into the truck and warm it back up only to have it cool down. I'm sure it's perfectly fine. I've done that in the past, but right now I think with the temperatures, the wind, although the wind doesn't really, wind chill doesn't impact vehicles, it impacts humans and animals, but I think it's just better right now just to keep it in the keep mode when I go inside. I do not have it on slippery wet mode. I don't think it's really indicated or needed. Okay, that did the right thing. We were going straight. We were at the stop sign first. It had a slight hesitancy before I guess it realized that it was okay, that it could go. Oh, I did get this for Christmas. Jeff got me this little cyber mug. It's got the little Cybertruck logo there, and inside it has Tesla. So yeah, I got a lot of Cybertruck things for Christmas. People know me well. It was probably very easy getting things for me this year. If it had anything with a Cybertruck on it. My mom got me a wooden model that had the Cybertruck to put together. If you don't know, I'm really big into building Legos, not the little tiny Legos we grew up as kids, but the big 1,000 piece set. I did the Titanic last year, I think around this time. So this year for myself, I picked up the Steamboat one that they have. I think that's a little over 4,000 pieces. I haven't had a chance to start that one, so maybe this weekend I'll get it going. I also got from my mom as well this nightlight type of thing that it projects the Cybertruck and makes it look like a hologram. So that, and it changes colors if you want it to. So that was kind of neat. So yeah, it was a really, really good Christmas for Cybertruck things this year, which I love. So I've been finding a couple things that have happened to me in this area is, I guess a few people who still feel a lot of strong emotions against the Cybertruck or EVs or Elon or Tesla or whatever their reason is that they will cross this double yellow line right in front of me as if they're gonna create a head-on collision. So I had that happen yesterday with my mom in the car, but the Cybertruck did well. It moved right out of the way and anticipated it, and of course the guy was just more or less, it was a threatening kind of thing. It wasn't that they were going to actually do it. So they moved back into their own lane, but the Cybertruck anticipated that they might still go, and it moved to the right to kind of get out of the path of a possible collision. So I thought that was really nice. I just wanted to kind of share that with you as far as its anticipation and reading the road and kind of keeping track of what's happening. So safety wise, that was great. I've had it happen twice. No, it's not like all the time, but I honestly would rather people just either flip me off or honk their horn. I don't know. Veering into my path is, I don't know, not only dangerous, but just kind of stupid. I don't know. It's uncalled for. So it is 30 miles an hour through here. We're at 32. We are in standard. Standard yesterday when I was driving to work was going like 10 miles over. I actually had to drop it into chill. Today it doesn't seem to be doing that kind of speed. We're now up to 45. Now there is a lot of ice on this side because that sometimes is what happens, so we'll see how it handles that. Me personally, if I was driving, I would just be in the left lane. So we're at 45. It's doing 38, 39, 38. I don't know if it's the cold weather. It sees snow, so it's anticipating something might be a little on the slippery side, but it's not behaving at all like it did yesterday. Again, if this was me, I'd be on the left-hand side of this road just because it's a little clear, but it handled that well. Turn the heat up just a little bit. Ugh. And it's and by staying in this side, you're putting all that salt and that sand and everything right up into the wells. Ugh. Yuck. Alright, I don't know if you can see that snow blowing across, but this will put blowing snow back on the road. It can make it slippery. I am going to put it, in slippery road. But you can see see that? This is how strong the wind we've been having. Lots of warnings out. Where the wind actually sounds like a freight train coming down the street. You hear it on the road, on the house. And you can tell we're in a higher elevation. You can just automatically see where that line is from being okay to kind of getting in this type of condition. And it is a 45-mile-an-hour road, and it's doing 25, 26. Granted, we're coming up on this curve here, but it's handling it nicely. Yeah, look at what a difference in terrain and conditions. I think a lot of that might have been from the blowing snow we've had. There's a car behind me probably thinking, why are you going so slow? Sorry, it's not me. It's so funny, it seems a little more cautious now than it was when we had the snowstorm. I don't know, it's interesting what makes it behave one way in some conditions and not in another. So, alright, I'm coming up on my client and we will catch you on the next leg. Take care. Okay, we are off again. We're gonna see how it does backing out into the street. at 22 degrees. Try to clean this off a little bit. There we go. I think that might be helped. We're at 22 degrees. We're at 76% on the battery. I am keeping it in keep mode while I'm going into residents, or my clients' houses. Let's see, 76 gives us 245 miles. We are in standard mode. And this drive is about 7 minutes. It is 45 through here. So far today on our trip, we've been doing very well. FSD has been handling things nicely. It's going through this snow and wet. Well, actually, probably don't really need this on, but this particular road, we're gonna put on the slippery road mode. Here we go. You really can't see any of the lines, honestly, but it's picking it up well. So you can see our wind today, crazy wind. And a lot of the snow on the road is really because of the wind blowing it. Oh, there's another Tesla. So we are still on 14.2.2.1. There's a 14.2.2.2 that is out. There are some videos out already if you're interested to watch. From what I can understand, there's not a lot of new things. I think there's like maybe little patches or fixes. So what does everybody have planned for the New Year's? Any celebration parties going on? I think for me, we're just gonna kind of keep it really low key this year. not that we do anything any other year, but all right. The roads are a little bit clearer, a little less snowy, and it's so weird we're still at 33. We probably could be going at least 40, 35 or moving up. All right, I feel the speed picking up. I guess it's telling that so there's our front camera. Let's see if isn't that weird? I wonder if it gets too cold and that nozzle doesn't work. But for the most part, they're fairly clear vision-wise. I might clean them off after this next stop. I'll see how my time is going. I put everybody so close together. I really just wanted to get this day over with. What I did do, and we'll see, is my current drive, I'm putting all my stats here, and then my charges, or my information since I charged. So we're gonna kind of see how those stats are doing for the day. All right, we're gonna be dropping down to 30. It did get up to close to the speed limit. The Cybertruck is coated in that brown salt. I really want to wash it off, but I just think it's too cold. With the air suspension and everything, I don't really want it to freeze up in there and create problems. So it's just gonna probably have to stay dirty like this until I feel we can have a warm enough time or warm enough spot that we can do a quick wash on it. Okay, here we go with this really sharp corner here, and it did well. Oh, look at that. Wow. That is something I would have done. That's a new behavior, a new good behavior in my mind. Normally it seems it would have just waited until all those cars came. That one truck was going a little, probably faster than the speed limit. Yeah. Let them go. So we got this pile here, and it stopped. Let that car go. I didn't really want it to go over that pile. And it didn't want to either. So that was a nice behavior. Something I would have done as well. We've got the green arrow. It looks like something is blown into the middle of the road there. That's a postman. If you notice, it slowed down because it saw him kind of coming towards the street. We have a pot here. Are you going to avoid it? Good. You can see how windy everything's blowing over. There's some, I don't know, looks like a decoration of some sort. The wind was so strong it actually broke. It snapped it right in half. That flagpole was metal, and she had her flag out, and the wind was so strong it actually broke that metal at the base of it. It is 30 through here. We're doing 28. Alright guys, we will catch you on the next one. Have a good day. Okay everybody, we are back. We are heading up to Lyle, and this is going to be about a 26-minute video. Oh boy, this is close tight in here. The roads in this particular area are very narrow. They are exempt from alternate side parking. They are only allowed to park on one side of the road. So anyway, like I was saying, this is a 26-minute trip. Right now I'm going to head up to Burn Dairy. Ooh, well, that was good. Stop there for a second, and then we'll head on to my client's house. So I'm not sure, this particular leg I might separate from the others because this is so long. We're talking about 26, 30 minutes up, 30 minutes back. So I might just separate them. To the right here, there's a little community garden plot, which maybe you'll be able to see. Yeah, there you go. If you can see it right here, this red fence around, so which is really neat. It's called Park Street Community Garden. I'm not sure how it works. I see there's little numbers, so maybe you have to sign up for a little plot. So that's nice. I'm glad they're doing things like that. I think more communities need to kind of implement those. We have one down from our house that just got started right before winter came. So I'm sure in the spring, it's a smaller one, not as big as that one, but it'll be nice. So we're currently at 25 degrees. Oh, we've warmed up. That's like a heat wave. And we are at 75% on the battery. That gives us 241 miles. There goes the Tesla. And we are in standard mode. Kind of an interesting way to go. I wouldn't pick this way, but that's okay. It gives it a lot of opportunities for different interactions. So, I think I said earlier I was watching Black Tesla. He's downstate from me, but still in the same geographical area. So he does a lot of like Manhattan, outside of Manhattan area. So he's really great to watch. But he was saying that something that I really did not know is that there's two separate things. There's a map data track, I guess. And then there's FSD track, and FSD doesn't influence map data. So if there's anything wrong with navigation, map data, ooh, oh, okay, did you see that? That car is getting ready to pull out. FSD stop. So the map data is a part that if you have that weird mapping or whatever, which is separate from FSD, so they don't influence, I guess, each other. So. There's also ways you can change different routes. I'm really bad. I don't look at the routes ahead of time. I just like, oh, okay. Once in a while I think about it, but other times I guess I don't. I just put it in and go, which is so weird because I normally do. All right, let's see what we're gonna do here. Okay, good. Oh, look at this. This is great. So I saw that car way up turning, and I knew these cars are here. I'm like, we're both not going to be able to go at the same time. So I was kind of curious to see what FSD was going to do, and it actually made the correct decision. But anyway, so what Black Tesla was saying today, or his last video I watched, was that we as humans are very predictable, and we like to have the routes that we like. And I think that was one of the things he was mentioning, that, you know, if you're riding in a taxi or somebody else is driving, you're like, you know, whatever, it doesn't matter. But I have a certain way I like to go home, or a certain way I like to get to the highway or to the stores or whatever, and I kind of wanted to go that way. That we should be able to have our preferred routes be able to somehow integrate into that map data. And I agree with him. Actually, everything you said today, I was like, yes, yes, yes. And in his other video too, I think I even commented on his video about, yep, seeing those same things. Yep, I agree with that. All right, let's see what you're gonna do. Alright, see, now this is great because actually this is the left lane selection that we actually want. This is the better of the two. It creates less merging. If you're on that right-hand left turn, you have to merge over. This way we're set up perfectly to just continue on our route with the best flow of traffic. So I have two more clients, the one we're going to now, and then see how this merges right in. So out of the two lanes, this is the one you want because it just creates a better flow of traffic and less confusing things to the people behind. But I have 2 more clients. Unfortunately, this one's like all the way out in Lyle and all the way back, so it makes for sort of a longer day. Now we're at 55 coming up. We're going around this on-ramp, so I'm hoping it will pick up its speed and merge over. There is a... No, you can get over. I don't know why. So, see, this right here needs to improve. We don't need to ride this lane all the way out. You've got room. There is literally nothing beside us besides this van that is 1 lane over. This is what we want. Why it's taking so long, why it's going all the way out, I don't know. And we're on standard. I don't know if hurry would have made a faster decision. But little things like that need to be kind of worked on, corrected. Got to get out, especially on highways. And granted, this is only 55, so we're not talking a great huge speed, but still, you need to kind of get out when you need to get out. You don't have to ride that line all the way out. There's no need for it. And maybe it was just being a little cautious because that van was there, but there was always a lane between that van and us, so that it's not like it was on our side. It could have very easily just gone right over. Cameras are looking. The car, oh my goodness, if you can see the outside of the Cybertruck, it looks brown. It's so bad. That looks good. I don't know. See that free? It was working earlier yesterday, so I don't know if it has to do with the weather. And again, standard is going way over the posted speed limit. Police sitting here all over, so it's just so different highway now versus what it was doing on the residential roads, city roads. See, now we can move over. I don't know really why we're sitting here because... Yeah, there we go. Alright. I don't know. Maybe I was waiting to see what this BMW was getting ready to do. It didn't have to. Now, there are cops that sit around this corner, so I got to be very careful we're not going too fast. They will pull you over. 62, 63. And honestly, I would get over 1 more lane, to be perfectly honest, if it was up to me. 65. Oh, you can feel the wind is so strong, it is pushing the Cybertruck. Wow. That's the first time I've experienced that. And if you watch the wheel, you'll see it trying to correct. Maybe that's why it's not moving over. The wind is making it confused as to what it needs to do. A little piece of ice over here making that rattling sound. I'm going to see if I can make it go over 1. There we go. So we're at 65. It's 10 over. And they'll stop you for that here on this particular stretch, but at least it's not going 70. I'll tell you, FSD is doing really, really a great job staying between the lines. That wind, you can feel it pushing. I can feel it vibrating on my leg. I have it resting up against the door panel over here, and you can feel the movement of the stainless steel a little bit. And that happened yesterday too. But she's holding steady. She's not letting that, I don't know, 50-mile-an-hour wind, it seems, push her around. over to 65-mile posted speed limit with this sign here. Let's see if it picks it up. Yep, right there, perfect. Wow, you can hear that wind. It's crazy. Yep, I don't know, watch this steering wheel. You'll kind of see the car move. And now we got a tractor trailer here. It has its blinkers on. All right, we're clear. We can go over. Good. Okay, that was nicely done. This wind will impact battery range a lot. The climate is taking about 1% of the battery. I don't know if that's like overall or per hour. Elevation's taking up 0.3%. Driving is 3.7%. 10.8-mile wind from the west is costing us 0.2% of this trip. And then it says increased climate control activity, air drag, tire drag, and battery conditioning due to cold weather is costing us 0.2% this trip. So all these are here range trips. It says this route is typically driven 65 miles an hour, slow down by 5 miles to save 0.5% for the rest of this trip. And it's got this live projection up here. I don't think I've noticed that before, but I don't usually pull this up when I'm driving. This is interesting. So it says live projection is at 65.4%. So that means we'll be arriving at Burn Dairy at 65.4% as of this moment. So yeah, there's a lot of data and information in Tesla that you can study and learn and, you know, follow if you want to, or kind of give you an idea of where your battery is going, especially if it seems to be draining a little faster than a normal, than what you're normally used to. So when I started this morning, I was at 81%. We are now at 69%. So we've dropped quite a bit. Before than I remember. Pushing the system today, it's making it work staying in this lane, but it's really doing a great job. I mean, you can kind of see here where it's moving and what it's doing. car behind us. We'll see if it gets over, and it does. As I was thinking about it, it did it. So with this new 14.2.2.1, I feel like we're a little bit back to the original, I think 14.1, as far as its behavior, its maneuvering. I haven't had any of those weird phantom braking type of things, a little jittery of the brakes, and I haven't had it where it turns on its turn signal, half gets over, and then gets back. I think Dirty Tesla actually noted some of that in his car in his video. He's down in Florida right now. He had mentioned that, and I said, yeah, I'm thinking, yep, I've had that, I know what he's talking about. But this version right now seems to have, at least as far as I know, since Friday, it seems to have eliminated that. So we're not getting that, let's turn on the turn signal and let's not do anything about it, or let's go halfway over and then get back into the other lane. The truck going back and forth, like I feel like I'm on like one of those roller coasters that push you one way and then you go the other way. Man, that shows you how strong that wind is, if it's able to kind of push this thing around a little bit. There are a lot of warnings out about the wind in this area, and even I think going north, like Syracuse area. Burst, like a little burst of wind gust. And that I just felt it release. It was like pushing it this way, and then I felt it, the wind stop, and the car went back that way. Well, we may not have tons of snow, but we are battling the wind today. subscribe and like and comment. I do appreciate it. It's not the fanciest videos ever out there and not the most high-tech ones, but that really wasn't my goal of starting this channel. Mostly it was to kind of display FSD, the Cybertruck, and kind of how it can be used in everyday going to work, running errands. So, huh. Well, that was kind of interesting. So the stop sign was back a little bit. It came to a full stop, and then of course there was that stop line. There were literally no cars coming, and it just went ahead and stopped, full stop at the line. There were some guardrails, so that might be why. All right, coming to 30. So let's see that. Yep, it dropped it down to 30. Good. I don't know, maybe because there were some guardrails there, it went ahead and stopped just to make sure nothing was coming, like a lower car, to maybe for the vision part to make sure it could see. Dorchester Park is a beautiful park up in the Whitney Point area. They've got little trails, and there's a huge lake. You can rent like little kind of boats and things like that. We're going to be coming into Burn Dairy real quickly, and then we will head off to my next client. Yep, we got to find the entrance. Yep, keep going. I know, it's all the construction stuff. There you go. I think it normally does have an entrance back there if I remember correctly, but I think it's all covered with snow. Alright, so how are we going to park today? Let's find out. Where do you want to park? What are you going to do? This would be a nice one here. No? Are we going to park kind of where we parked last time? We're going to park here? Okay. This works. I don't like to be next to cars, so this actually is perfect for me. Same thing I would have done. Good. We got lots of room. Awesome. Okay, I will be back. Okay, we're back. We already have the other destination programmed in from earlier. Oh, good. Yay, it's going the right way. Last time it went around the building. Oh, go. Okay. Oh, thank you. No. Oh. Alright, I'm going to push on here because if she keeps walking, it's going to stop for her, and they wanted us to go, so... So like I said, it's so super cautious around pedestrians. If she had stayed still, waved us on, we could have kept going, but she started walking. It thinks it's going to walk. She's going to walk in front of us, so it will stop. So I just had to kind of do a little intervention, telling it it's okay to go. So Dirty Tesla, I was watching him today too. He brought up something interesting that I noticed. That I just thought it was just some weird map data thing. Oh, there's a red Cybertruck coming. I hope they go in front of us. Check it out. Look at that red Cybertruck. That's gorgeous. Wow. I think it's a Cyber Beast too. So FSD loves to, or I guess map data, not so much FSD, I guess it's more the map data. I think I need to use the right terminology. Loves to navigate in the back of buildings. It will go like around, like if you're in a plaza or somewhere, it wants to go around the back of the building instead of going to the front. And I've noticed that as well. Sometimes I've had to take over. So last time I was here, it wanted to go around Burn Dairy. Nothing wrong with it. It's not quote unquote really the back of it, but instead of taking the shorter way, it just, like it did today, it just went around. That red one, I like that red. I wonder where they're from. I haven't seen that one before. Huh. Nice. So that's the first Cyberbeast, yeah, I think it was a Cyberbeast. Cybertruck, Cyberbeast that I've seen up here. I've heard there was one running around, but I didn't think it was red. I don't know if that's the one or it's just someone, you know, getting off the highway, but that's kind of neat. Neat to see. We don't see very many here. Hey, it is 55 on here, and I don't know, we're doing what I call a painfully slow crawl at 37, 38. The roads do not call for this kind of condition. Being this slow is rather annoying. Alright, I'm just gonna give it a little encouragement that it's okay. You could actually go 55 through here. So that's kind of intervention number 2. The first one was, and really that's not really FSD fault, because it's actually, I guess, programmed or learned or whatever to be very, 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 very cautious around humans. Sometimes I think it's overly sensitive, but I guess I'd rather have it overly sensitive because, I don't know, she could have just thrown herself in front of the truck, I suppose. But it created confusion because it wanted to keep stopping because she wouldn't stop. No. But us as humans, with our brain, our eyes, were like, well, just keep going. She's just kind of walking, which, I mean, I've done the same thing, wave somebody on, and I just kind of, you know, keep walking, and as they go by, I just go around them. I don't sit there still like a statue until somebody completely drives by me. Okay, I'm gonna put this street. There's actual driveway, but I don't have the option to put driveway. Alright, it's not following its navigation, but it actually is taking the shorter route. So even though it wasn't following its navigation, it's actually making a smart decision that going against its navigation. All right, everybody, I'm going to stop it here, and then we will pick you up on the next leg. Okay, we are back, and we are off to my next and final client of the day. Oh, look at how well and confident that backed out of the driveway with all that snow. Perfect. Turn that up a little bit so the fan's not blowing so hard. So we currently are at 23 degrees. We're at 64% of the battery. We started today at 81%. Let's see. A little close to that right hand side, but not bad. You can kind of see, I think it's trying to create two lanes, but honestly you can probably take the middle and just move over when you need to. Anyway, so we're at 64%. That gives us 207 on the battery. We are in standard, and this is going to be a 28-minute video back to Binghamton. it's saying we'll arrive at home or back to the area where I live at 56%. So I started the day before going to the charger at 49% on the battery when I got to the charger. So it probably would have been a very close rerouting to avoid, sorry, I'm just reading this, rerouting to avoid road closures, but there weren't any road closing unless something happened. Anyway, so like I said, I started at 49. It's saying I'll arrive at 56%, and so it would have been real close to the low end of the battery, which really, that's actually not bad. I probably could have gone ahead and done this whole trip, but with the cold, the wind, the distances I was driving, I went ahead and just charged up in the morning before my first client. And one reason was because I wanted to make sure there was enough on the battery, and the other thing is I just don't really feel like charging after such a long day of traveling around. There is a supercharger here at Arby's. I would not have had enough. It's a 325. I would not have had enough time to charge up here between clients. I probably could have. It's slowing down for this truck over here on the right. I would have had time to get maybe a few extra percentages, but nothing that, I don't know, makes a difference. I do feel like we're hugging that white line on the right a little bit too much, but it's not a problem. I think with all the cars being forced over on the oncoming more towards the yellow line with all the snow, I think it was just giving it a little bit of room. So overall, this new version definitely fixed and made better what was going on the previous version, the holiday version as I call it. It is 30 through here, we're at 35. Turning to 55, yep, did that already, and we're still crawling along. See all the wind blowing that snow? I know I've been saying it all day long, but the wind the past, I don't know, it's been like 3-4 days. Just insane. How our cameras are looking here. That's the front. Is this working yet? No, it must be too cold. It was working the other day in the rear. Okay, so they're really not bad. They could definitely use a little bit of cleaning off, but nothing that's completely impacting it to the point that it's not going to be able to do what it needs to do. Alright, that merge was better. It still kind of rode all the way out, but I think it was checking to see what that white car in front of us was going to do. Yep, again, that wind is just pushing us around. And actually you can tell, you might not be able to tell on the camera, but I can see the snow, instead of coming down, it's actually going sideways, so that tells you how strong that wind is blowing. I don't know if you can see up there on the mountain up there, kind of like little, like I call them little snow hurricane winds, is picking it up and picking the snow up. A little over 4,000 miles, so 4,066 to be exact. I am still at 96% of the self-driving stats. There were a few miles here and there where I actually drove it, so that really tanked my stats. I was sitting at 98. It is a fun vehicle just to drive. Windshield's dirty. The Cybertruck is dirty. I want to wash this so badly. It is just brown. Oh, I hate it. I can't stand a dirty car. It drives me crazy. See up above, see out in front, see how the wind has taken the snow and has lifted it up, almost like a little hurricane over here. Or not a hurricane, tornado, sorry. Some sort of weather pattern. Takes it and swirls it around. eventful. And if you've made it this far, thank you for watching. You might just want to fast forward through this part of it, unless you like watching. I mean, it's relaxing. There is a charging station here. It's not Tesla. It might be, I think it might be Electrified America, but don't quote me on that one. Every once in a while I'll see some people charging there. Trailer with the cars, just because I don't know, with that wind, I don't know how he's handling that. I'm sure he feels it. Posted, and we're doing 71, 72, very comfortable. I don't know if it's not going as fast as I've known it to go on standard because of the wind, or if it's just sort of settled at this particular speed for the moment. I think if I had a suggestion on things that we might need in our parking profiles, is we need a thing that says handicap, because I'm sure there's people who have Teslas that are able to use the handicap parking, and they should be able to have the same experience of going end to end, driveway to parking spot, and having to select a handicap parking spots versus one of the regular ones. So that should be an option, and that should have been put in there a while ago. I think it should have been put in as soon as we had the option to be able to park in parking lots. I mean, there may be a reason why we can't. Maybe it's something about reading the signs, or I don't know, it reads speed limit signs and it reads no turn on red signs now, so I don't know why it wouldn't be able to pick out or somehow train it or program it to be able to know the handicap, either the handicap logo that's painted on the ground, or the signs, the pole signs facing up. And most handicap parking spots are kind of near the front of the store, so. In the driveway. It did last time, this house. We'll see if it'll do it again. And the people might have their car there, so I might not be able to. Okay, we have dropped to 55. So the speed here should drop also. at 65 we were doing 72. Now at 55 we're still doing 72. Okay, looks like it's backing down a little bit. We're at 69. You will get pulled over on this stretch of the highway if you are this speed right now. Oh shoot, there. Speaking of cop cars, there you go, right there. Alright, so let's put it in chill mode and let's see if that makes a difference. Yep, now we're going to slam on brakes. So chill mode puts it there, but I don't know, it's just weird. It doesn't have consistent over the speed limit type of thing, so. And I think that is one of the things that Dirty Tesla did mention. I think if we could have some consistency. Standard is, I don't know, 10 miles over the posted on the highway, maybe 5 miles over in, say, residential areas, city. We should have some, I guess, some sort of control in that sense, and I do get it, where that max offset speed control that we had was great and definitely beneficial. So, I mean, those are some of the things that definitely still need to be worked on, still need to be ironed out. And every region is different. I mean, I don't know, there's some places that are marked at 65 and going 80 is acceptable on the highway. So maybe bringing back that offset is maybe what needs to be done, or maybe creating some parameters like Tesla, or Dirty Tesla was saying, like certain behavior during highways, certain behavior during what would be considered residential city driving. So I'm in chill, it's going 2 miles over the posted, and this is to me way too slow. You got people passing, it's staying in this middle lane. If it wants to go slower, it should be in the right hand lane. Standard, and let's just see how it does now that I've kind of calmed it down a little bit. And I have noticed that if we're at a really high speed like that, 65, it was doing 72, and we dropped to 55, it's still doing 72, and it really didn't get much further below. That if you knock it down into a lower, now we're at 53, well I guess we're going around the corner, so that you actually have to calm the system down and then go back to where you wanted. I've had this happen 2 or 3 times on the highway, where it just gets out of control, almost like a Mad Max situation. And if you drop it down into a lower mode, there's a car right there, okay, and then put it back to where you wanted, it seems to behave a little bit better. But again, if we want to go fully autonomous, I shouldn't be having to touch anything. I should be pushing a button in the driveway and it should be able to handle those kind of speed variations. But I mean, overall, it's definitely getting there. I mean, this is a really great system. This is a really great build. I'll be anxious to see what 14.2.2.2 has to offer, if there's any little subtle changes. I may not even notice, to be perfectly honest. I mean, it seems to be doing very well right now. I just hope there's no regression back to some other weird behavior. But so far the videos I've seen, it's been doing really well. Alright, so we're back in standard. It's 55 through here. We are doing 54. It could be because of the wind. The road is perfectly dry, so that's shouldn't be an issue as far as traveling. We're going to be going to 40. See if it picks up that 40. Yep, it picked up the 40. Let's see what the speed behavior does. We're still at 54, 53. Oops, now it's, for some reason, decided to slow down. 45. Yeah, 45 actually be a great speed for here. Although, don't tell anybody, but my little BMW M, I kind of like to really rip around these corners because that's just fun to do. But for the most part, you know, 42 to 45 is perfectly acceptable. Oh, I think this car is going to go. Yeah, that's okay. It has room. It's slowed down for him or her. But overall, it's staying off the yellow line now, which it has been, so that's continuing. It used to stop really on top of cars on this kind of situation. It's not doing that anymore. It's what I say, stopping at an appropriate distance. So that's definitely improved. So really, the improvements and the advancements, we can't underestimate those or kind of brush them away, because there's a lot of good things that have been changed and are coming out of it. The things that, you know, all of us are kind of complaining about have nothing to do with safety. It's just little nuances, little preferences, little like weirdness, quirks here and there. Maybe irritating things, but nothing is unsafe at all. And I do let FSD, I mean, honestly, since I've gotten the Cybertruck, I know it says 96 on those stats because that's new, that just happened. But I really, honestly, it drives me. Very few times do I actually drive this myself. You know what, I think because they're going to be coming up on the correct side to park. Remember I was saying it's odd, even, and it's the 30th. And the way it's coming up, it's going to be parking on the even side, so I won't get a ticket. I'm just going to have it do curbside instead of it pull into the driveway. we got a little, I believe, an e-bike coming up. Okay, gave him plenty of room. Luckily it didn't just follow it up the hill. I've had it do that in the past. It will just follow these e-bikes. Alright, do we have room to park on the side? What are you going to do? Where are we going to park? Maybe in front of the white car? Yep. Ooh. Yep, we're gonna have to park right up here. Yep, that's good. Oh, perfect. Yep. Yep, nicely done. Alright guys, we'll have one more leg after this one. I'll just be heading home or maybe to my mom's. I haven't decided yet. And then I will try to get this onto YouTube as quickly as I can. Alright, we'll see you on the next one. Okay, we are on the very last leg of my day. We are currently at 54%. We started out at 81 today. And we have 170 miles on that 54% estimated. We're at 23 degrees. And we are heading home. Well, if you made it this far in the video, and I have put all of this day together on one, as this is probably going to be a long video, I do appreciate you following along. If you have any comments or questions, I will certainly answer them the best that I can. Today was actually a really, really good trip. FSD did remarkably well with all our wind that we've been having on the highway and staying stable. It's been making great choices. Navigating well. There is right on red, so it can do this. There's a car right here in front going left. After this Jeep, it can go. So perfect. That was really well done. Well executed and navigated. Oh, well, you can't see it, but there's two deer right over here in these people's lawn. It is 30 miles an hour through here. We're going 32. It's a little slow for me, but I can't. It's hard to kind of get it at that sweet spot. I would 35 to me is usually where I kind of will drive it, but this thing desperately needs to wash. It is brown. I'll have to see how the weather is tomorrow. Maybe I can run it through the car wash and at least get all the salt off of it. And traveling those back roads is where you get a lot of that salt sand combination thrown up. Okay, we got a jogger here on the right. It moved over just slightly. We got the mailman stopped there. He should stay stopped. That was the ice and snow at the end of the driveway, if you heard that noise. Okay, so it's lowering down to entry mode. So overall, since the charge, we did 57.9 miles. We used 26.3 kilowatts, and we were averaging 454.5 kilowatts per mile, or watts per mile. I don't know. I get those two things confused. I don't know. So the 454.9, that would be equivalent to miles per hour in a car. The lower that number, the more efficient it's going to be. And honestly, considering what we were battling today, the terrain up and down, the wind, I'm not upset at 454.9. We arrived at 53.7, and it's at 54. It obviously rounds up. We 0.6% was consumed, 0.2% more than the trip projection. Aggressive acceleration consumes more energy. Well, I don't think we did any aggressiveness. I don't know where that's coming from, but it's just range tips. So driving took up 0.4, climate was 0.1 again. We didn't do any battery conditioning because I just kind of left it running. And then everything else was 0.1%. So that was our overall trip. I don't know what this sign, maybe this is what was projected and this is our actual what we. So let's see, we go to consumption. There's our consumption. Loss and gain. So, all right. Thank you for following along, and we will catch you on the next one. Have a great New Year's.